What's going on, YouTube? Um, let's get political. I've noticed there's a lot of people dipping their feet into the political aspects. And while I'm sure my video may be another one that people would just rather not even fucking watch or listen to, I don't really give a shit. Once again, I don't make any money on my videos. I don't really care to make any money on my videos. I have other means of income sources, whatever. So I would like to bring to attention that some people, obviously, that you would not have expected to join in the political attributes have now spoken their voice. Perfectly fine. Last time I checked, we're still legal to do that in this country, okay? And you can do that. You have to be able to accept debate. Even on my channel, your channel, it doesn't matter. You have to be able to accept debate. It's called free speech. You have to be able to take the good with the bad. You have to be able to accept the criticism, but if you're going to give criticism, you also need to accept criticism. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, so to speak. Anyway, let's bring up the newest division, the Roe versus Wade, right? There's a lot of people that are pissed off about this. I don't see what the big fucking deal is, okay? Technically, all the government did was pretty much say, we're not in this fight anymore. That's up to the state. That is up to the state. So you can actually still have abortions, potentially. It all relies on what the state court wants to do, or however all that shit stupid fucking works, okay? Let's really break this down, though, because there's a lot of people that seem to skip over a few factors, right? Kind of like waiting till marriage. Anyway, let's just say, for instance, just as a what if, let's just say or pretend that the government does have complete control over the populous body, right? The population out here. Let's just say that they actually did 100%, without a doubt, just fucking completely made abortion illegal, right? Just for instance. So the only people who basically would be able to bear children is basically those that are going to have to be willing to step up to the plate, right? Because for one, the woman obviously is going to be forced to carry the child unless she does something to change that, which I think a lot of women, after a certain point, I think that they kind of began to gain feelings. I don't know. Anyway, number two, let's just say that for some odd fucking reason, this government of ours did ban abortion 100%, and the state backed them up on it 100%. In all 50 fucking states, you were not allowed to have abortions, right? What would be some of the effects of this? Well, number one, people are going to resort to protection, right? They're going to use condoms, the pill. They're going to use every means they can of safer sex. And or they're just going to abandon that altogether until they're at a certain point in life is like, I want to have a kid or I don't want to have a kid. Technically, what this is potentially going to do, and that this has got to be some shit not everybody fucking sees, but I'm sure there's some others other than myself. However, women are going to be forced to basically heed more caution to who they allow themselves to sleep with, right? They're either going to be forced to wait until marriage, or they're going to be not out partying as much because, I mean, hell, if, just one little slip up and they can't abort that fucking baby, they're going to be forced to carry it. That's going to suck. Women fucking realize this a hell of a lot sooner than men do, in my opinion. Now, let's say men, you're also going to be in the same boat, right? It's not just on the women. You have to do this in order to have a child. So, having this does not have a child alone. You have to have one of these, right? These work together. It was consensual. Okay? Fair enough, right? Now, if I'm in a position where I'm just out wanting to fucking party, I'm wanting to fucking fuck, right? If I can con a woman or talk a woman into having an abortion, I'm going to be less likely to give two shits about who I fucking sleep with, especially after a couple hours worth of drinking, partying, whatever. On the other hand, if I'm not allowed to have an abortion and I have to be cautious, because from there, if you're the guy and you did this deed and now partial of the responsibility falls on you because you can't abort. So what makes you fucking think that any guy in his right fucking mind wants to have a kid with a crazy bitch, okay? Not saying that women are crazy. Some of them are, some of them aren't. There's really good women out there, there's really good men. So let's just fucking avoid that conversation. However, men are going to be more likely to find a woman that they would actually take the time to get to know. And women the same. Women are going to pretty much vet this guy like, hey, what kind of fucking job do you have? What kind of career? What's your life goals? They're going to be more likely to vet the men that they're sleeping with or getting involved with because they want to know, like, hey, if I get fucking pregnant, is this guy going to step up to the plate and be a fucking man? Instead of just saying, fuck it, right now, I don't care. I'm really fucking horny. We're going to bed together, right? Men, on the other hand, are going to be forced to kind of fucking vet women. Like, we're not going to be able to abort this fucking child. We're both going to be stuck with it, especially if you're going to be able to hammer down on fucking men for child support, right? No matter what, which is kind of already the case. People seem to fucking forget that too. Like, for men, you lose your driver's license, you lose your tax return, and hell, if you didn't get your driver's license or your tax return, you can't fucking go get you can't get your car registered. If you can't get your car registered, you can't drive it back and forth to work. And if you can't work, guess what? How the fuck are you supposed to pay your child support? The states got stupid when they went after these details. But I didn't create the laws. I just fucking somewhat understand them. And I'm not saying that I do or that I experienced this shit because I read a fucking book or anything. This is all basically just my opinion. However, let's continue on. If I'm going to be forced to fucking find a woman that I'm okay with having a child, like after a few months, like, you know what? I think we'd be okay, Match. It's been 6 months we've dated. I think we'd be okay to have sex once or twice, And if she actually does get fucking pregnant, it's kind of like, well, we've gotten along really good these fucking 6 months. Like, might as well get fucking married. Or some are going to be like, you know what? Let's just fucking get married. Like, basically, this is going to force everyone to vet everyone that they're sleeping with, right? They're going to be more cautious about who they're sleeping with. Okay, take this for instance. If women are forced to vet men because now they know they can't abort this fucking child, you think this bitch is trying to get stuck with this dude's fucking kid, he can't even fucking pull his underwear up right. Imagine, as a parent, how fucking proud you're going to be when your daughter comes home with a man that pulls his pants all the way up, speaks proper English, has manners, has a job, has life goals. Like, hey, I want to get married. I want to have a happy home. I want to own my house. I want to have a green yard. I want the American dream. Imagine if your kid came home and said, hey, I found a fucking guy. He's great. He's fucking great people, right? On the other hand, imagine if your son came home. hey, I found this fucking woman. She's great. She knows how to cook. She knows how to fucking clean. She's not crazy. She steps up to the plate. You know, she keeps a clean house. We've already hashed it out. We've already been discussing and cussing. You know, he does the chores outside the house. I'll do the chores on the inside of the house. That's what a happy home is all about. She has life goals that are similar to mine, that match up. Basically, when you're forced to be extremely cautious about who you're sleeping with because you no longer can fucking just randomly sleep around, you're going to be more likely to know somebody on a personal level. And by doing that, you're going to have more self-caution about who you would have or will allow in your life. Instead of just letting every random person come along, sleep 5 minutes with them, or even, most of you probably finished the deed, I would assume. Fuck, you already dedicated. You in front of this motherfucker butt-ass naked now. You might as well dedicate yourself. Some people aren't fucking happy with how this turns out, so they fucking never contact this other person again or allow them to contact this person ever. Well, you didn't allow this person to contact you again because you were not sexually satisfied. Imagine if this person not only is not sexually satisfying, but imagine everything else that falls behind that. Talked a good game when we were at the bar. Sounded like he'd be a really great person, or this would be a really great person at the bar. When we got to the house, it was completely displeasing. Now imagine if you had to take the time, or had taken the time to get to know this person. Fuck, this person's actually really good fucking people. Not only do they tell me this, but they show me by their actions. They treated the server nice, or the waiter. They treated this person nice. We went to this place for an event as a date. They treated everyone there that we came in contact with really respectfully, and they had nothing but great things to say. They had a positive mindset. Wow, wouldn't that fucking be a perfect world, right? Huh? Now imagine, let's take all that back. Now imagine too, also, and a lot of people fucking forget about this too, basically, when people would prefer you not have abortions, I think it's not so much the abortions part. I think it's the fact that people are abandoning their responsibilities. Hey, both of you fucking did this and you created this. Neither one of you want to step up to the plate and own the aftermath. That's like trying to go through a car wreck and not have any of it taken care of and not even fixing your fucking car. Right? How long is that going to fucking last? You can't drive away from the scene of an accident. That's illegal, I think, in most states. I might be wrong. But there's consequences, right? This is that. That's what abortion rights really boils down to, is responsibility. And a lot of people seem to be overlooking that. Also, I think there's a numerous amount more of people who use abortion as a scapegoat. Like, oh, this guy turned out to be a piece of shit like 3 weeks after I told him that I was pregnant, so I'm having an abortion. It's like, wait a minute. You could have saved yourself a hell of a lot of fucking trouble if you would have vetted this guy for a few months before you two decided to do the deed, right? That's odd. You would kind of think that might actually come out a little bit cheaper. Now, I understand too, some people get married, they have kids, life is going well, and then all of a sudden they find out their spouse is cheating. Well, the spouse ends up pregnant or carrying a child or has another child. Whatever instance from either scenario. It's kind of like, well, I mean, that's basically abandoning one fucking family and starting a whole nother one. people don't realize it's the responsibility that follows through with having mutual sex with many fucking partners and using abortion as a scapegoat, right? Also, on the other hand, too, I don't know how much it is to actually have an abortion, so I can't really complain or say or whatever, but theoretically, if you're having like 3 or 4 abortions a year, God, that's got to be rough on the body. However, how much does that cost? Where the fuck do you get the money from that, for that? I don't understand. Who's funding that? Why should the state pay? Or why should the government pay for your abortion? You're making the government pay for your fuck up. Because you didn't want protection. Because you didn't want to be on the pill. Because you didn't want to precaution yourself about who you're sleeping with or who you're spending the next 30 minutes with. All for 8 seconds of fucking glory, only to find out this other person may or may not be a really big piece of shit. When you make the government pay for it, that's me paying for it. Not me solely. As a populace, you're making the entire population of the fucking country pitch in and pay for that. Okay? That's kind of unfair. How? Because I wasn't the one that forced you into bed. I didn't coerce you into bed. I didn't talk you into going to bed. I didn't fucking nothing. Okay? I'm over here minding my own business. I'm fucking doing my own thing. And people tend to forget when you do something like that, when you ask or request or require the government to get involved in abortion rights, that has consequences that affect everybody else. Most everything you do affects everyone. Not just here and there, but it affects their process of doing shit too, right? Well, fuck. If everybody's out having abortions and the government's still having to pay for these, what is the government going to do? They're going to raise the fucking taxes like, Jesus Christ, we've paid for 316 abortions. We're barely even fucking 15 minutes into Monday. Like in a 24-hour period, how the fuck long is this going to like how many fucking abortions are going to be in this? That we're going to have to raise taxes. Somebody's got to pay for it. We got to raise taxes. Well, then my tax goes up because you were irresponsible. How the fuck is that fair? You want equal rights, but you request or require that nobody else get equal rights. What's not to understand? Don't worry about the incest or the rape or whatever, because I'm pretty sure, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women that don't actually report themselves as being raped, when in theory they probably were. There's also a lot of women that weren't raped that have come forward and said that they were, when in fact it was the opposite. Like, they just wanted this motherfucker to pay for their actions. This guy, for some reason or another, broke their heart or whatever. And I've kind of watched some horror videos on that. Like, I fucking lied about this guy raping me because he fucking broke my heart. We were dating, and I later said he fucking raped me. And it's like, holy shit, where's the consequences for that? This guy now has to register as a sex offender for the rest of his fucking life. You have ruined his life, and that's not something you can get fucking reversed. Once you're on that page, you're on that page for life. There's no getting off of it. So that fucks this guy over really bad. And the thing is, he might have been a really good fucking person, you know? Like, good job, pays his bills on time, responsible type of person. Just happened to go to a bar one night, met you, took you home, and y'all had fucking 8 seconds of fucking glory, and he decided he didn't want anything to do with you. You fell in love with him during that 8 seconds, and now you're requesting or requiring his fucking attention, and he doesn't want it. So you fucking flat out said that he did this. That's even more fucked up. That's even more fucked up. The whole fucking shit show could go on, okay? But in my opinion, I think what this whole abortion rights thing is going to do, and the thing I don't understand is, I wouldn't have believed it had I not fucking heard it, but I watched a video where the newest Supreme Court, what's-her-face, Kajanti, or I didn't really pay attention to how to read or whatever her last name, but she was asked, like, what is a woman, and she's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know how to describe or what a woman actually is, because, you know, we don't have any, well, tell me this. How do guys get pregnant? How the fuck does that work? Last time I checked, there's only one gender that can carry a child. Men cannot carry a child. I promise you that. Like, just not going to happen. Regardless of what people think, it's not going to happen. So, the one deal that really is misunderstanding is we went from what is a woman, we don't know, to now women can't have abortions. Like, wait a minute. All of a sudden we remember what a woman is? What the fuck is this? What is that? You can't fucking do that. Now these fucking people are seriously confused. Not only that, they're extremely fucking brainwashed. And that's not exactly their fault. We were all under a trance or a warp of some sort at some point. It happened to all of us. They have lied about every fucking thing, okay? And there's a side that's going to lie about this shit too. And it affects all of us as a whole. As a human population, it affects all of us. So, my opinion on the whole abortion thing is it's going to force people, if you're smart, it's going to force people to not be just sexually active with every fucking random person you come across. You're going to be forced to vet these guys, to listen to their heart and get to know them. Like, you're going to want to find out what their ambitions are, you know? Like I said, how proud as a parent would you be if your kid came home and said, hey, I found this fucking person? It's like, oh my fucking God. Did you really? Like, that is fucking awesome. Instead of waiting till your kid's fucking 40, they got 2 kids, they're in a miserable fucking marriage, they've been cheated on by their spouse, they have a broken home, and they're talking about going to have an affair because this guy doesn't do this anymore. Or this side doesn't do this anymore. While the other one tries to seem responsible. It's like, I don't think that we're going to have that much polar opposites. Hey, I might be fucking wrong. I might be wrong. But I don't think so. I think people are going to come to the realization that it's smarter to just fucking wait a little while before having sex. And it might actually be better off we just don't sleep with a bunch of random fucking people. How could you not? I ain't trying to run a risk of having 5 fucking kids with 3 different women. And no pun intended, but there's some women I came across that I dated for a little while, and I later found out they're a lot of loopy. They're a lot of fucking off the rocker. Like, their cheese is not all the way on that fucking cracker. And imagine how much fucking heartache I would be in had I fucking got them pregnant. I would have stepped up to the plate. But I can tell you, I wouldn't have fucking been happy about it. At all. Anyway, that's my take on this abortion. Once again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time.